Hey ladies, so you might hear my voice a little rough because I have a cold. But anyways, I wanted to do a voiceover of this video so that we can go through what's going on the set. So here it was a fall set that I did. I'm just gonna remove it. I started off with my mandrel and a sanding band to rough up the top coat. That way my tornado bit can last longer. Then I went in with a tornado bit to remove the previous color, all the gel. The rhinestones I clipped away with an old pair of nippers. Then I switched back to my sanding band to even out and smooth out my surface. And then making sure perfecting my shape before going in with my design. Making sure that I, really good use it around, the side of the nail, around the cuticle, cleaning away any of the residue, okay? I'm going in with my 100 to 180 grit file. I am perfecting my stiletto shape, making sure that I have a perfect shape and that those points are really, really sharp. Then I'm gonna go in with my dust brush, dusting away all the dust. I then went in with my buffer on the rougher side and buffed every single nail out. Then I went in with a smoother side, to even everything out. That way I make sure that my surface was ready for application of the gel polish. Then I started to apply my gel polish. I picked the pinky nail to do a pattern like Sally's dress. This was the Nightmare Before Christmas set that I did. I was really proud of this set and I really loved how it came out. So in here, I basically just went in with different angles with the polish. I made sure I apply thin, that way it would cure really good. I started applying at the top one color and then I would pick another area to apply another color and then so on, making sure that I cured the nail when I was done with the design, and then doing a second layer and curing it in between each coat. That way my nail would be really nice and cured, cleaning off the sides. That way no gel would come out and make my nail bulkier, okay? Every time I would cure 60 seconds. Then on this nail, this was the nail that had Jack. So I decided to do like a really dark background, even though most of his body is black. But I wanted to go in with kind of like a night background. So I did a tip in black and then this really cool royal blue gel, and then I used my ombre brush to create a little ombre looking into kind of like the really dark sky. And then with the gel paints and a mixture of white and yellow, I started drawing the moon, which here looks yellow, which it would probably represent the sun. But his head is white, so if I did the moon in white and then I went in with his head in white, it wouldn't really cover or look good, okay? So I decided to do kind of like an ombre moon, where it kind of went from like really bright yellow to a little lighter, and it turned out really good. I really liked it, how it did turn out. It did kind of look like the moon. With my detail brush, kind of went back and forward to give it a little texture, not to make it perfect, because that does add a lot of dimension. Then with the 5mm art brush, I started to draw in my line, but then I went in with our other art detailer to cover more space and kind of make my circle really nice and big, like I wanted it for Jack's head. Then I moved down. I wanted to kind of see where his body would kind of sort of be. I cured in between because I didn't want to ruin what I already had placed in the nail that I really liked. So I went in and I cured, and then I did another layer of the white to make sure that it would be really nice and vibrant. Then I started to draw down his neck. Every time that I draw, I tend to look for inspiration. Either it'll be a picture, or actually I was hearing the movie playing in the background when I was drawing this, and I feel like it kind of helped because every time I would just kind of look behind, and it felt right, like it felt good to actually be drawing and then hearing the music and them talking. Then I went in with our black gel paint, which is so good. You know, you only need a little bit, and you see in the video how much it covers. It's so amazing. I started by drawing his eyes, and then I make sure that, you know, like I would cover a big amount of space because his eyes are pretty big. Then I did the little nose and cured, making sure, you know, that I would cure enough time, 60 seconds in between each cure. Because there is a lot of work and artwork, you know, in these type of nails. You want to make sure that you're curing enough time. Then I went in and drew in his mouth. On this particular picture that I was using it as inspiration, his mouth was just a line, which I kind of didn't like that, but you know, I kind of wanted to make him a little happier because he is a happy character. So I made him with his mouth open instead of just closed, and I really loved how it definitely turned out. Then I continued on to drawing in kind of like his suit, you know, like it really helped with having the background of the nail in black, because I only had to add a few details to make the rest of him, which it was easy. Then I went in and applied a base coat to kind of encapsulate and help me. At this point, I didn't really know if I was done with the nail or if I wanted to keep on adding, which I did, you will see later on. Then I went back to this nail that I had done first, the pinky nail, and I started to draw in the little details of it. I decided to kind of break off each color but with a line, and then kind of do like little lines going down. They were not perfect, they were just like squiggly lines, but they added definitely like that Sally vibe, mismatch kind of look that her dress has, which it was really, really cool. I really liked that. Then I kind of did like little lines in the black lines to make the idea that they were like stitches. So that was really cool. I really love this nail. I think the colors and everything really look great. Then you see here I added some vats, which I loved the look that it gave the nail. It made it really look really cool, and actually it kind of looked from up close like it was kind of like 3D. It was really neat. I really liked that. Then I made sure to use a base to encapsulate the stickers. Now if you see, I added already some diamonds around the cuticle area with the pinky. I ended up giving Jack a matte top coat, but then later on I decided to make it shiny again because it was kind of taking away from him, from like him being, one of the main characters. Then the middle finger, I decided to do Sally because I kind of wanted them to be together. I wanted them to be next to each other. The movie, it's called The Nightmare Before Christmas, but most of the time people know, them as, being together as a couple, main characters of this movie. Super famous movie. Then basically what I did for her color, she has this like tealish, greenish, or like color for her skin. So I mixed I think these were like gel colors that I mixed. It was the teal that I used at the tip, at the top, like where the cuticle area is of the pinky nail, and like some white to kind of make that teal, light teal color. Then I use orange and red gel paint from our line to kind of create like that reddish orange hair that Sally has. And I started to draw her hair around her face. I have to tell you guys, honestly, this is the hardest character that I've always had a hard time drawing. I don't know what it is, but I always have a hard time drawing Sally. Jack is extremely easy. You know, the trickiest part with Jack is making his eyes the right size. But Sally is very difficult to draw. And then I make sure to continue to draw and, you know, shade and add in color where needed. I used lots of different colors and paints to create Sally. She is the most difficult because she does have a lot of detail in her, to make her look like Sally, honestly. So, but it wasn't impossible. I definitely struggled a little bit, but I made it work. It was all right. And at the end, I absolutely loved it, how it came out. I hadn't drawn like this in like a really long time, so it was definitely like a found again passion and love that I have for drawing. I used to draw a lot, but I'm very busy now in the salon, so I really don't get much time to draw like I used to. Then I continued on with her eyes. Again, this is another really difficult part to draw from her, because if you don't get the eyes right, it's just not gonna look as good. For this type of detail work, you definitely need what it is, a really good detail brush. I do recommend you guys buy the 5mm brush. It is extremely awesome that you have this brush. It will definitely help you tons. Okay, then I would continue to go in. I started to apply her lashes and her eyes, her circles. Then I started to make kind of like stitches that she had on the picture that I was using as reference. And her lips were kind of hard to do on the picture, like the reference. They seemed a little too small for her face, like I was drawing, so I had to make them a little bit bigger just to kind of fit in with what I had going on the finger. But it was okay. I mean, I wasn't too thrilled at first, but then it kind of worked out. Then I started to make little detail lines around her hair and her face to kind of give it some dimension. I was kind of comparing like the sizes of them, and they looked pretty okay. So I was very happy. On the pointer finger, I decided to do Zero because Zero is such a super cute character of the movie. He's extremely easy to draw. Basically, you only need white paint, and you know, don't make it too white because he is a ghost. So you do want to make it kind of like kind of see-through-ish. And since I decided to go with a black background, it was very easy to kind of make it like that. And he is basically just a bunch of lines and, you know, like circled in, and it was very easy to do Zero. He was very cute. I really like him a lot. Then I finished with a red dot for his nose, since, you know, in the movie he does what he does. Then here is the finished result, ladies. I decided, you know, to do this set now because October is approaching. I mean, it's here already, but I mean, Halloween, and it really goes by fast. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I see you on the next video. Thank you so much for your love and support.